Hey, Stephen Adley here, CEO and founder of Isatori. I'm here today to talk to you about our new fat burner, MX-LS7 V2. It's unlike anything you've ever tried before, and today I'm going to share with you 3 things that show you why it's truly different than any other fat burner that's on the market, truly different than anything you've ever tried before, and how it will help target stubborn fat. So let me talk to you about MX-LS7 V2 and why this product is completely different than anything you've ever seen before. And let's start off by how it works. It works by targeting stubborn fat. And by that, I mean something that's different about this product that you've never seen in any other fat burner is that it converts stubborn, or what are called white fat cells, into brown dissolvable cells. Okay? And what you're going to see here in a second is that actually forces the fat cell to literally self-destruct. Okay? And that's how you're going to target stubborn fat. So let's go and do a little bit of education here on the different types of fat cells and why this fat burner is so different. So you have 2 different types of fat cells in your body. You have a white cell and you have a brown cell. And when you look at these cells, and something interesting you may not know is that you basically by the age of 9 or 10, you acquire all the fat cells that you're ever going to have for the rest of your life. And all they do from thereafter is either grow or shrink in size. So inside your body, though, there's 2 different types of fat cells. You have a white cell and you have a brown cell. They're pretty significant in how different they are. And we're going to talk about why this fat burner MX-LS7 is so different in that it converts these white stubborn cells into these usable or dissolvable brown cells. So when you think of white cells, that's stubborn fat, that type of fat that just tends to stick like glue on your body no matter how much you diet or exercise. For me, that's around my lower abdominals, my lower back. It could be on the backs of your arms, your legs, your thighs. But it just tends to stick like glue. No matter how hard you diet or exercise, it doesn't want to reduce in size. And the reason is, when you look inside of a white fat cell, if you looked under a microscope, it has this giant fat droplet inside of it, okay? And then around that are a few what are called mitochondria. And those mitochondria, they're like, they're the engine inside the cell. And they actually are what will convert that cell and help that cell dissolve by having more of them. So every other fat burner on the market basically targets this particular cell. But if you have to think of this cell, it's like a honeycomb, sort of like a soccer ball that's filled with air. And you can try to hit that ball all you want, but it's filled with air and it's not going to reduce in size, it's not going to pop. But what clinical studies showed on the key ingredients in MX-LS7 V2 is that we can actually convert that fat cell from a white to more like a brown cell. And the difference between these two is that instead of one giant fat droplet, you're now producing several small fat droplets. And I'll get to the significance of that here in a second. And instead of just a few mitochondria, you're just going to have significantly higher amount of mitochondria. And these mitochondria and that energy will produce a reaction inside this fat cell to essentially force these smaller fat droplets to reduce in size, to be used as energy. And so think of this as sort of like bubble wrap. And you can just pop that fat like bubble wrap. Whereas here you've got a soccer ball. No matter how hard you try to puncture it, it's not going to reduce. But as the key ingredients in MX-LS7 convert that fat from white to brown, you're converting it from something that's stubborn to something that's usable. So essentially what MX-LS7 does, it helps you target that stubborn fat. It doesn't spot reduce, but it helps you to reduce that fat that's typically stubborn where all the other fat burners try to target, but essentially will do no good until you can convert that fat into more of a brown-like fat cell that allows you to target that stubborn fat. And in doing so, you're able to reduce fat much more quickly. Let me point out 2 other things that are important about MX-LS7 V2. One is, if you remember our original version, MX-LS7 V2 is not just the same formula concentrated. In fact, it's been completely overhauled. So there are entirely new ingredients, entirely new formula, and it's much stronger than the original version. There's also 3 particular new ingredients that no one has ever seen before. The reason why? Because we synthesized them, we brought them to market, we put them in MX-LS7. One in particular is an ingredient called red drouillon. You're going to see this show up inside literature. Red drouillon is a synthesized form of scaledium that we have that acts very much like geranium. So we feel that we found the geranium replacement because it has many of the same mechanisms, but it doesn't have all the negative press that you may be hearing on geranium. It elevates your mood, it increases your alertness, and it upregulates the caffeine, and that was shown in several military clinical studies. And that's why we put this red drouillon inside MX-LS7 V2. The other thing that's important to point out is that every box of MX-LS7 comes with this Get Ripped plan. This is a 30-day plan that basically shows you many of the tricks that the professional bodybuilders use and fitness competitors use to really dial in their physique, get that nice, dry, hard, ripped look. And we reveal a lot of those secrets in here. In fact, we reveal all the secrets that we've ever used with professional athletes and how they get ripped for contests. And a colleague of mine, Pete Chacon, and I put this together, and it's inside every purchase because we want you to get ripped and be as lean as you possibly can by using MX-LS7 V2. And you'll find that only inside of our new product. And after you try it, please come get on our Facebook page. Tell us what you think of it. I think you're going to see, just like everybody else, that it works just as effectively as I said.